Hello, guys. I hope your Monday is going well. Schemes are important in UPSC because they enhance our answers, and generally, UPSC even directly asks about certain schemes. So, best way to cover schemes would be to discuss schemes that are in use so that we are able to use them as well as answer about them. So, this video is about 5 schemes that are in news. Let's begin. The first scheme being Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Why is this in news? See, recently the union government has launched Innovation and Agri Entrepreneurship Development Program under this very scheme. So let's know about what is this scheme. This scheme was initiated in 2007 by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It is an umbrella scheme. It ensures holistic development of agriculture and allied sectors. It allows states to choose their own agriculture and their development activities. It incentivizes states to increase public investment in agriculture and allied sectors. And then there is decentralized planning for agriculture and allied sectors again. And thus, it was recently revamped as Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, remunerative approaches for agriculture and allied sector rejuvenation. So let's start with the objectives of the scheme. First one is easy. Yes, it incentivizes the states. Second is it provides the flexibility and autonomy to states. Why? Because yes, it is a decentralized planning for agriculture and allied sectors. Then it ensures the preparation of agricultural plans for the districts also, because yes, it is an umbrella scheme, so a holistic development is possible. Fourth, definitely if it's a decentralization scheme, if it is an initiative for implementation, it ensures that local needs, crops, priorities are better reflected in the agricultural plans of the states. It will help in achieving the goal of reducing the yield gaps. It will maximize returns to the farmers, strengthen their efforts through creation of required pre and post harvest agri infrastructure that increases access to quality inputs and other things. It also brings about quantifiable changes in the production and productivity of various components in a holistic manner. Thus, it strengthens the farmers' efforts, it provides autonomy, flexibility to states to plan and execute the schemes, it promotes value chain addition, linked production models, it mitigates risks of farmers by focusing on additional income generation activities like integrated farming, etc. And then it also attains national priorities through several sub schemes. This is one objective, and to empower youth through skill development, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So, from prelims perspective, it falls under the syllabus of economic and social development, sustainable development, you can call it poverty issues, you can call it inclusion, demographics, and social sector initiatives too. There you can also not just general issues on environmental ecology, but yeah, somewhere helpful in your ways of improving environment and agricultural related pollution. Thus, it forms a part of the syllabus. From mains perspective, if you're writing an answer in paper 2, it can be used in features of Indian society, diversity of India, where you can talk about how the farmers' issues is resolved. Then population and associated issues, poverty, developmental issues, you can talk about how this scheme would help in answering the issues of the development. And then thus you can end your answer, the globalization on Indian society and everything, you can use it there. In paper 3, as in the economics part and everything, you can also use it in the changes in the industrial policy, in that way in agricultural policies. Then you can also use it in the public distribution system, because how are these schemes helping farmers, helping agriculture, then food processing and their related industries, and how the supply chain management is working and everything. You can use these answers, you can use them in your answers there. Also, when you look at the investment models, how is the government investing through these schemes? If you look at the infrastructure models, you can write your answer there, because yes, Raftar major focus is on pre and post harvest infrastructure also. However, these are the answers that you can specifically you can use at some points. You cannot just chipkify this scheme anywhere. So this is not MG Narega, don't do that. However, it's beneficial too. So this scheme is important in these ways. Next scheme is Amrut scheme. Why is this in news? Because Odisha bagged first position in implementation of Amrut scheme. This scheme very easy, launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. We'll quickly go through this scheme because you're gonna love Ideal Bibliotheca after this scheme. And if you don't mug it up right here with me in this video, I am sorry then. Okay, so now when you look at this logo right here, first we look into the objectives of Amrut scheme. First is, it provides basic civic amenities like water supply, like sewerage, like urban transport, parks, as to improve the quality of life for all, especially the poor and the disadvantaged. So what are they doing? They are giving us the basic civic amenities. And what could they be? They could be greenery for good air, they could be drainage for better standard of living, and that could be water supply definitely, and transport, don't forget. So yeah, these four things, civic amenities, that's the first point. Second point, infrastructure creation, that has a direct link to provision of better services again to the citizens. And these are the two schemes, and our Amrut scheme is done. So next is, what is the purpose of Amrut mission? So now if you again look at this very logo right here, you'll see that the first mission, not logo, mission is to ensure that every household has an access to tap. Why? With assured supply of water and a sewerage connection. So what was the first objective? Provide basic civic amenities like water supply and sewerage. Again, this is that every household has access to tap. This again is a mission. Then increase the amenity value of cities by developing greenery. What was the second thing there? Parks, and to improve the quality of life and breath and oxygen and everything, whatever. So here we again have it, amenity value of cities by developing greenery and well-maintained open spaces, example parks. And the third could be reduce pollution by switching to public transport. So what was there? There the objective is urban transport. So if they don't improve the public transport, people will not go to public transport. So to switch to public transport and constructing facilities for non-motorized transports like cycles and everything. So what could be the major project components? Again, very easy, and within this drawing itself. What could be first? Water supply system. Sewerage, all the time talking. So sewerage, with that comes what? Sewerage, with that comes what? Stormwater drainage. So again, drainage. Urban transport, parks, reforms, management and support for the infrastructure, and capacity building. So all of these are major project components. So I don't think that you'll have to look for it anywhere again. So this is about the Amrut scheme, make states equal partners so that they can plan, they can implement. Odisha has been awarded for a good and proper implementation. That's the first position implementation award that he's taken away. Next, mission covers 500 cities. It involves all cities and towns with population of 1 lakh, and then category of cities have been selected, and whatever categories they can be, they are. Then it is a central sponsored scheme. If you know what's the difference between a central sponsored scheme and a central sector scheme, do comment down. Then project fund is divided among states or UTs in 50-50 weightage, and it is given to the urban population and number of statutory towns. So this was it, the objective, the basic civic amenities and infrastructure. So with that comes the mission, and with that comes the proponents, and with that comes that yes, this is a centrally sponsored scheme and not a centrally sector scheme. This is it with Amrut scheme, done right here, right again. So now let's quickly look into where all can we use this, and in what all prelim syllabus can we be asked about this. Now in prelim syllabus, Amrut scheme forms part of our physical geography, you might call it, or the political system. Why? Because it's a part of governance. How? Because yes, it's a chance to the government, to the governance, to improve their way of showcasing the implementation and everything. Then social development, definitely, anyway, however it can be. Then inclusion, again, the social sector initiatives, again, because yes, it's improving the quality of life too, and environmental ecology, without a doubt. So these are the basic points of prelims paper. Now we come to the mains paper, where all can we use it. In paper 1, it can come under the population, it can come under the poverty and developmental issues, it's there. But yes, the definition, how we can overcome them, can be used. Amrut scheme can be used. The urbanization, again, their problems and their remedies, Amrut scheme could be used here. So all of these ways, paper 1 could be helpful. Then we move to paper 3. Again, here you can use them in what all ways you want, as in the policies, in the industrial policy. Definitely when you're using the sewerage and the urban transport, you can talk about the infrastructure here, because you're talking about the roads, the railways, the ways. You can use it in the transport. And then you can definitely talk about the development, because how are they developing the transport, how are they developing the water supply, drainage and everything, how are they using science or technology in that. Yes. And thus you can also come into the conservation of the pollution, the degradation, the environmental impact, and also in the disaster management, how is this helping the floods can be controlled with the water supply thing, with the sewerage, proper drainage system, the floods could be controlled and everything. You can talk about them, and thus you can end your answer with a very good and factual things like the government mentioning everything. Then the third scheme is very easy, a small one, promotion of medical devices park. This could be used in your social sector initiatives and infrastructure ways, because this was released by Department of Pharmaceuticals. These are guidelines for 2 schemes. They were released by DOP, and thus it promotes manufacturing of high-end medical devices in India. It's a central sector scheme with the establishment of 4 medical device parks, and it has one-time granted, where it provides the creation of common infrastructure facilities in the selected medical devices park. And then 90% of the project cost in Northeast and 70% in other states is controlled by the central, and thus maximum grant and aid for one medical device park will be limited to 100 crore. State government responsible for submission of these project reports. So yes, we are also including the implementation of the state governments. Thus the objectives are clear, the scheme, the implementation, approval, these are the just small portions of the scheme. Then the another scheme for which guidelines were already released by DOP is the PLI scheme, the production linked incentive scheme for promoting domestic manufacturing of medical devices, again for your social sector initiatives, for your infrastructure portion from the syllabus. Thus, what is this? Financial incentives given at the rate of 5% of the sales of domestically manufactured medical devices. Disbursement of incentives is done in the form of direct bank transfer. Thus, the objective is to boost domestic manufacturing and attract the large investments, whereas for the last one was creation of world-class infrastructure facilities. So it's both on infrastructure and manufacturing, but this is the difference, and thus the implementation here is by the project management agency appointed by DOP, whereas there it was state implementing agency. These are the basic differences, but these 2 schemes can be useful in all the medical devices part, and obviously important with all the COVID-19 that we are seeing right now. The last scheme for today is Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan. Why important? Because it was launched by Prime Minister in this very year from Telihar in Bihar. So Telihar district also becomes important. Thus, objectives are it provides livelihood opportunities. That's the very sole motive of the name, right? So in areas or villages witnessing large number of returning migrant workers. So this was specifically launched for the migrant workers. So yes, it can be helpful in a lot of things that we'll quickly see also. So features could be your employment come rural public works campaign, and thus it covers a lot of districts and emphasis on rural infrastructure. So infrastructure again becomes important, and it is a multi-ministerial effort, and also campaign is one of the components of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana for the poor. That's a package relief, and this campaign is one of the components of that. This is it with the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan. Let's quickly see where all can we use this and on what basis can they ask us. The first could be, yes, our polity, our governance, our constitution. So definitely the public policy, the rights issue, everywhere, yes, people are legible to get things that it's required, so definitely there. And thus in poverty also that can be asked, and the social sector initiatives is also becoming important that way. In paper 2, that is in the mains paper GS1, they can ask us, and you can use this, not they can ask us, it's in diversity of India. You can use them in poverty, developmental issues. You can also use in urbanization, because yes, the migrant issues was that only. And then you can use them in social empowerment. You can also use them in the secularism, religionism. Somehow you need to use them in a way that yes, it suffices your answer. It shouldn't look like that you did not know anything, so you just put this out. From paper 4, that is GS paper 3, you can use them in infrastructure, because yes, this does talk about that. And thus you can also use them in the challenges to internal security, because this migrant issue was definitely a challenge to our internal security, because migrants did face a lot, and let's accept that. So yeah, these are the small little ways that you can use them in your answers. You can also use them in these topics, but definitely only when your point, your justification suffices that answer. Alright guys, this was it for today's video. The 5 schemes that I could put up in a very crisp and cute and short and better sober way that I could. And do let me know which one was your favorite, or maybe which one could now you never forget. I think I cannot ever forget Amrut scheme anymore. This was the best possible way that I could mug it up, and I could let you people know about it. Other schemes definitely important. Even if you can't mug it up, you need to get into it. So yeah, these were things from the Monday point of view. We next meet on Wednesday, I guess. Yes, I hope you remember that. Yeah, so we next meet on Wednesday with something very, again, little interesting and everything. Until then, keep studying. Thank you.